holding on the fourth page of the copies, on page Ches, Ais Gimel, that's line 10. We were talking about the idea of Re'eis Charpasenu, the idea of seeing our both Charpasenu in a negative, our embarrassment, our shame, and the Ma is something that's our Pnimis HaNeshama that we lost. That's the level of the Tzelem HaAdam, and that's the Ruach Shtus. But that's a foreign thing to the person. And that's why there could be, on the other hand, there is a level of Cherpasenu from the positive, that the Baal Shem Tov explained it in a positive, not just in a negative, that there's the level of losing our Ma, losing our Bittul. There is the opposite of it as well. There's the level of the Cherpasenu, that Mecharfim es Nafsham, that we are throwing away our lives, having total Mesiris Nefesh, and the case that the Baal Shem Tov was speaking about was the great Avos Yisrael that Yidden were having for Pidyon Shvuyim, for redeeming captives. And the Rebbe is trying to put together both the negative meaning in the pasuk Zechor Hashem Mahayolonu Habitu Reis Charpasenu versus the positive, etc. So now the Rebbe goes on to explain more the idea of this pasuk. The Ma also has the positive and negative. There's the Ma of the Re'uma, there's the Ma of Klippa, that the person wants other people to see that he's bottled. And there's like this two opposites over here that it's talking about. Okay, line 10, page Ches, fourth page of the Maimar is given. In addition to this was explained in the Mamar, in the continuation of the pasuk after it says Zechor Hashem Mahayolanu, in addition to the different things that we're saying about the Ma of Kedusha, the Ma of Klippa, that says Habito Reis Charpasenu, look and see our embarrassment. So the word Charpasenu, the embarrassment, they're connecting it with what it says in a different pasuk about our embarrassment. What's the other pasuk that says in our embarrassment? Behesem la pirush hapashat, corresponding to the simple meaning of Charpasenu, not mecharef es nafsham, that they're throwing away their lives in a positive way, but shezeu inin cherpes al menusayich. It says that we have the embarrassment of your being a widow. That Hashem says the embarrassment of you, the Eden, being a widow. That now in Golus, Knesset Yisrael is called by the term Almana, widow, like it also says in Megillas Eicha, it uses the term as well, right away at the beginning, Hoysa Kalmana. She was like an almana. Eicha yashva badad. Whoa, how she sat alone. She was like an almana. What's the idea of almana? So the Rebbe is going to explain that there is almana in a very subtle spiritual level, and from that subtle spiritual level of almana, it comes down to the lowest most levels. It says in line 14, the idea behind this is the way it begins in the finest level, in the subtlest level, in the highest most level. In Isa Gemara, it's brought down the Gemara Almana al Shem Mon. That the Gemara says an interesting thing. Why is a widow called Almana? Because it's a mana, she gets 100. Almana ksubas mana. That an almana, her ksuba that she gets is 100 zuz is her ksuba. Not like a unmarried girl that someone that was never married, that her ksuba is 200 zuz. So that's what it means. That's the Gemara says that almana is related to the word mana, meaning 100. So the Rebbe asks, it says al mana, that it's not mana. So it seems to be not really fitting in with the meaning of 100 zuz for an almana. It's almana. She doesn't get 100. So therefore, the Rebbe takes it and brings down from other Amarim that almana really means, again, the spiritual realms, not 100. Missing 100, if a person is missing 100, then they are an almana, as we're soon going to explain. It's explained in Amarim almana that when it says that there is not a mana, hainu shechaser ha'inyan demeya sha'arim, it's lacking the idea of 100 levels, 100 gates in the terminology of Chazal. Shem shtei pa'amim chamishim sha'aribin. 100 sha'arim is twice 50 gates of bina, 50 levels of bina. The idea behind this is, the Niksiv, it says in the Pasuk, Vayizra Yitzchak be'eretz hahi vayimtza b'shana hahi mea sha'arim, that Yitzchak planted in that land, and that year he found 100 levels. In other words, the simple meaning is he found 100 times as much. But in Chassidus and Kabbalah, the 100 gates, that means twice 50 gates of bina. So the Rebbe asked 23, what's this calculation of 100 gates, 100 levels? Where's 100 coming from? We only find 50, that there's 50 gates of bina. Like the Lashon Chazal, 50 gates of bina were created in the world. So that means that there's only 50 levels. How do you all of a sudden double it to increase to 100 if there's only Rak Chamishim Shara Bina Nivro Ba'il? But the idea behind this is that what is the 100 gates? There's the 50 gates the way they are from below to above. Meaning the way the lower levels rise up through these gates above. Chassidus explains the idea of a gate is an entranceway, but it's an entranceway that can go in both ways. You can exit and you could enter through it. So there's the 50 gates, meaning from below to above, the 50 levels of entering into Kedusha, or being nis'al even higher in Kedusha. And then there's Kefishe Malmata, then there's the way they come from above to below, the way they are drawn down from the higher levels into the lower levels, into the world. Top of the next page, says, together, they make up 100 gates. It says, to you, Hashem, is the Gedulah. And Lecha is the numerical equivalent of 50. So we're saying, then there's Vacharka Ksiv Kichoil Bashamayim V'oretz. Everything after that pasuk Hashem Agdullah Guru at first from Neis Vahoid Kichoil Bashamayim V'oretz. So then there's the Kichoil. Kichoil is also Lamed and Chaf, same Lamed and Chaf like the beginning, but flipped over. That's 50. Lecha v'koil and Moises Shavim. The words lecha and koil are the same letters, lamed and chaf. Vishnei b'gematria chamishim. And both of them are the numerical equivalent of 50. Lecha is meaning to you. We are offering it to you, so it's going upwards. It's going from below to above. The koil, on the other hand, everything is malmaylo lamata. In other words, it's coming down from above to below, and that means when it's coming above from below, so then there's the idea that we are a Metzias, we are existing, we have the idea of Yeshli Koil that it says about this. Let's actually look at the side in the commentary. It's an interesting explanation on the side. So let's look on the right side of the page, on the commentary beginning line 14, that he's bringing from a mimer of the Rebbe, Vayizra Yitzchak, again, Me'er Sha'arim, from Tafshin Chav Zayin. It was a Mugadik mimer from Reish Chodesh Kislev Tafshin and Aleph. So again, right side of the page on the column of the commentary. It's explained in a different place in the explanation of the 50 gates of Bina. Just like the literal idea of a gate is at the end of a courtyard, that through that gate one exits outward. In a similar vein is this 50 gates of Bina. They are in the lower level of Bina. They are the gateway between Bina and what's beneath Bina. That through these 50 gates of Bina, the intellect comes down into the emotions. That the drawing down of the seichel into midas is going outside of the seichel. It's just like leaving the courtyard, going outside of your property outward. Line 21, v'inyan hasha'arish, moed al yitzia l'chutz, and the idea of the gates, that indicates going outward. Huki klol l'seichel zeh, because the general idea of the intellect that he's thinking. Gam lifnei hatayasu l'midas, even before it's leaning towards the intellect, it's already a level of intellect that is appropriate for and has an association with emotions. Okay, the main thing is we're talking about a lower level in intellect, and that level is the Chamishim Shara Bina. Line 24. Oid bir bish Chamishim Shara Bina shtei parmim. Another explanation, the 50 gates of Bina, twice. These are the two manners and approaches